progress.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our November 18th, 2021 Special Magistrate hearing for the Building Division. At this time, if you wish to speak at today's proceedings, please stand and raise your right hand. Ma'am, I know you have a baby, but if you're going to speak at today's proceedings. Yes, okay. Do you solemnly swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings? Yes. Thank you. You all may be seated. Our first case is on page 29. Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 607 Southwest 10th Street. Owner, Byron Charles Todaro. Case number BE 2105-0016. This case was first heard on 8/19/21 to comply by 9/30/21. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $2,400, which continues to accrue.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay.
Good morning, Inspector Saragusti. Presented the case as read. Hello,
Hi.
is working? Jose Saragusti, building inspector from the city, presenting the case as read. The case is not comply. I am going to let the respondent to speak.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
My name is Byron Charles Todaro. I'm the owner of the property at 607 Southwest 10th Street.
I'm sorry, say again.
I'm the owner of the property at 607 Southwest 10th Street.
All right. Tell me, what's happening here? 48 days, fines are continuing to accrue.
I just bought the property a little more than a year ago. This really is like the first time that this has really come to my attention. I just recently had some surgery, I guess, maybe when this whole thing, when I first got something here. I remembered it as just some minor stuff. The address wasn't on the house or something. The two sheds have been there, like I say, since probably the 1980s, I'd say. I know the one shed's not in perfect condition. The other shed pretty much is. I don't understand. I really don't understand what the whole thing.
All right, well, you need to talk to the people at the city, and
Yes.
this gentleman will explain it to you, because there's already been a finding that you're in a violation. Fines have been imposed.
I talked to some, I'm sorry. I did speak with somebody at the city, Doris, and she said that this had been extended and that just try to get a hold of.
Well, again, you need to speak to the code compliance officer. The city's request that the fines be imposed and continue to accrue is granted.
I'm getting a fine on this?
I'm sorry?
I have a fine? I don't understand what's going on, honestly.
Apparently not. That's
No.
why I'm telling you, you need to communicate with the city.
Okay.
Figure it out. And I don't know if you appeared at the earlier hearings or what.
They told me I didn't have to worry about it. I don't know. I had
You
some.
just don't know.
I
Okay.
had some operation. I talked to somebody at the city,
I know.
and she told me she said I didn't have to worry about it. She
Well,
said that
you
I
do
had.
have to
She said I
worry
had
about
time.
it.
She said I had plenty of time.
$50 a day means nothing to you.
No, I don't want to get any fines at all. That's why I'm here. This is, like I said, this is the first time I've been
Well,
alerted to this.
okay. I got the picture here.
All right.
Again, talk to the city, talk to the inspector.
I will request 28 days extension. 28 days extension.
Okay, all right.
Are you requesting to stay the fines during that extension?
Stop the fines and 28 days extension.
Okay,
I will coordinate with the customer.
Okay, I'm going to grant 28 days, stay the fines. Okay, thank you, sir.
Talk to him. Okay. All right.
Our next case is on page 21. Okay, 1 second. I'll go to the next one. Our next case is on page 30. Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 615 Coral Way, case number CE 2007005, owner Pablo Emilio Tobin, Angela Maria Escobar Tobin. This case was first heard on 2/18/21 to comply by 4/22/21. Fine suspended as noted. One section complied at $50. City is requesting to reduce the fines to $480.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, case number not just as read. I'm gonna let the respondent speak.
Hello, everyone.
All right, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
My name is Pablo Tobon.
Okay, all right, can we move that conversation, please? Okay, the city's requested that the fines be reduced to, I assume it's administrative cost, $480, and I'm going to grant that request.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Our next case is on page 30. Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 432 Southwest 8th Ave, case number CE 20121. Owner Robert C. Swindle. This case was first heard on 8/19/21 to comply by 9/30/21. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting the full amount of $2,400, which continues to accrue.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, case number and address as read. The city is requesting for fines to be stopped and a 63-day extension.
All right, ma'am, if you'll speak right into the
Good,
microphone.
good morning. Stephanie Mayorga from Stephanie Toothaker's office on behalf of the property owner. We would appreciate an extension so we could finalize the permitting process.
Okay, I'm going to grant a 63-day extension and stay the fines as of this day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 29. Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 511 Southeast 5th Ave, number 101. Case number CE 18061253. Owner, New River Retail Center LLC. Fine suspended as noted in the agenda. This case was first heard on 9/20/18 to comply by 11/1/18. One section complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $35,900.
Jose Saragusti, building inspector for the city, presenting case number as read. The case is comply. The city is requesting administrative fees of $424.
I'm sorry, city's request is
424.
4,000,
No. 400.
420,
4.
424.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right, good morning, counselor.
Good morning, Walter Morgan, Morgan Olson and Olson, here for the owner of the property, and we accept the inspector's request. Administrative cost only of $424. Thank you.
Okay, fines are waived, administrative cost of $424.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna, our next case is gonna be someone via Zoom. One moment, please. Mr. Valdez? Our next case is on page 4. Property address 901 Northwest 10th Ave. Case number BE 21070062. Owner Sunrise Broward Investments Inc. In care of G. Frank Quesada Esquire. Notice posted at the property on 10/19/21. Posted at City Hall 11/4/21. Okay, Mr. Valdez, can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Inspector Alexander Abores. I'm sorry, I didn't say the inspector's name. One moment, the inspector's coming.
Okay.
Page 4, 901 Northwest 10th Avenue.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Inspector Abores on behalf of Chief Oliva, case number and address is read. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection has not been approved. City is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
All right.
Good morning, Your Honor. Juan Valdez on behalf of the owner, Sunrise Broward Investments. This was a notice of violation that we received with the case number as read. My client never got this notice of violation, but we did get another notice of violation with a sister property that's right next door for a 40-year certification. It's my understanding that the properties have made the necessary improvements except for one tenant, which is related to this 901. I understand that the tenant is making the necessary repairs, and we're asking for an extension and a suspension of any fines to allow them to finish up the repairs. And I would accept 42 days.
So I'm going to find the violation exists 42 days to comply?
42 days to submit the report, yes, sir.
Or
And once the report is received, if corrections are required, the city will support a 180-day extension to allow for the owner to apply for the permit and make the repairs as required and provide a new report.
very good. Granted. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 27. Chief George Oliva. Property address 1050 Northwest 55th Street. Owner Clifford J. Glanson. Case number CE 12021927. This case was first heard 2/5/15 to comply by 3/19/15. One section complied at $200. Total fines are $442,800. City is requesting to reduce fines to administrative costs of $1,275.
My name is Cliff Glanson, and this is my property, correct?
All right, just 1 second, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Chief George Oliva for the city. They came into compliance a little bit too late, but we're requesting for the fines to be reduced to an administration cost of $1,275.
All right, sir. I'm sorry. State your name again, please.
Cliff Glanson, and this is my property, 1050 Northwest 55th Street.
Okay. You understand what this gentleman said?
I do, yes.
All right.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to impose administrative cost $1,275.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 10. 1 second. Property address 6200 Northeast 22nd Way. Inspector Alejandro Abores. Case number BE 21070136. Owner Imperial Village Condo Association. Notice posted at the property 10/22/21. Posted at City Hall 11/4/21. Hi, Mr. Richardson. Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Go ahead, Inspector.
Inspector Abores on behalf of Chief George Oliva, case number and address is read. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
All right. On behalf of the owner?
Yes, sir. Good morning. My name is Curtis Richardson. I'm the property manager of the association. We're requesting a 90-day extension. We did get the property inspected on this past Saturday, November 13th. I have not received the report back as yet, so I'm requesting a 90-day extension, please.
The city does not support an extension. Your Honor, this is mandated by Broward County, 42-day extension for the report to be submitted.
Oh, for the report to be submitted?
Yes, the report be submitted.
Okay.
Then if repairs are required, you will have a 180-day extension to apply for the permit, make the repairs, and submit a new report.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very good. Find the violation does exist. 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 10. Inspector Alejandro Abores, property address 5470 Northwest 10th Terrace, case number BE 2107-0141. Owner, Sand and Steel Properties, LLC. Notice posted at the property on 10/25/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Inspector Abores, on behalf of Chief Oliva, case number and address as read. The report was submitted but failed. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a new report in the next 180 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
All right, on behalf of the owner.
Good morning. My name is Nicholas Doherty. I'm the owner of the property. I accept that.
All right, very good. For the record, I find the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 15. Property address 701 Southeast 22nd Street, 1-8, Chief George Oliva. Owner, Dina Cosgrove. Case number BE 2107-0220. Notice posted at the property on 10/27/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
George Oliva, on behalf of the city. The report was submitted to the city, but it failed due to correction requires. And the city gonna request an extension of time of 180 days for this repair to be concluded and $100 per day thereafter.
I'm sorry, Ms. Cosgrove, can you unmute yourself, please?
Not sure.
Can you please raise your right hand? Ms.
Oh,
Cosgrove?
hang on.
Ms. Cosgrove,
Can
can
you
you hear me? Yes, thank you. Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceeding?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
yes, I accept what the inspector just laid out.
Yes. You can speak on behalf of the owner.
Okay, my name is Dina Cosgrove, and I'm the owner of 701 Southeast 22nd Street. And I accept what the inspector has just said. We are close to being compliant, and will submit a new report.
Okay. All right. For the record, I find the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 3. Inspector Alejandro Abores, property address 329 Southwest 2nd Street, case number BE 2101-0004. Owner, Martin L. Gischoltz. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Notice posted at the property on 10/19/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Alexander Abores, building inspector for the city, presenting case number and address as read. I initially visited this property on December 31st, 2020 to investigate a complaint and met with Mr. Rodney Eli. During the inspection, I observed there was a portable storage unit on the property, a new wood and chain link fence built. Records show no permit application for the portable storage unit or fences. Informed Mr. Eli that permits were required. Property was cited for work without permit, FPC 2017, Section 105.1, and Section 47-19.2.8H.11.2.c. The case was opened on January 5th, 2021. Inspection report mailed for both violations on January 5th, 2021, with 30 days to come into compliance. Final notice mailed on February 16, 2021, for both violations. As of November 16, 2021, no permit has been applied for. City is requesting for the magistrate to find the violation is 6 and grant the owner 63 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day thereafter. The respondent is here to speak.
All right. sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Good morning. My name is Art Ben-Gochia. I am the architect for Mr. Eli, which is the old Fort Lauderdale Breakfast House. And we are actually have applied for, because it's in the historic district, we have an extra layer than just regular permitting. So we have applied to the historic board, and that's why we're asking for the 63 days to get that process finished.
All right, okay, so then hopefully we'll get all this resolved, but for the record, I find the violations do exist. 63 days to comply, $50 a day thereafter.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 30. Property address 1500 Northeast 15th Street. Inspector Jose Saragusti. Case number CE 19041860. Owner Dar A. Schuster, Christopher Schuster. This case was first heard on 8/13/19 to comply by 9/24/19. One section complied at $50. City is requesting the full amount of $8,650. Hi, Mr. Schuster. Can you please raise your right hand?
Yep.
Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I do.
Thank you.
Sure.
Good morning, Inspector Saragusti from the city, presented case number as read. The case is comply. I am going to left the respondent to speak.
Great. So this is a property that belonged to my father. He passed away a few years ago, and I'm in the process now of selling the property. And it was only about a week and a half ago when my real estate agent went over and saw that there was a notice that I was out of compliance for apparently a permit for a fence. That was literally the first time I had heard about this. So I called up Fort Lauderdale to get more information on the case and to see if information had been, where it had been sent out. So apparently it had been sent to an Alabama address, which is not something I'm associated with. I live in New York, so I never received any information here in New York. So I'm literally hearing about this for the first time. This is something I would gladly take care of, whatever it requires to get into compliance, but I would like to see if I can get the fees reduced and just really to find out what I need to do to take care of it so that I'm in compliance.
Well, according to the city, you're now in compliance.
Yes,
Okay.
case is compliance and the city is requesting administrative fees of $129.
All right, and, okay, it was 173 days, okay. Okay, and the city's request is?
$129, administrative fees.
$129, so the fines are reduced to $129.
Oh, okay. Yes, that's fine. I could take care of that. Now, Your Honor, who do I contact to take care of those fees?
Get a written order in the mail shortly.
Your Honor, if I could, Your Honor, if I could.
Good morning.
Your Honor. Good morning. Rana Montoya Hassan with the City Attorney's Office. Since Mr. Schuster seems to be unaware, and I'm looking currently, the city is obligated to send notice, which would include the order on this case, to the mailing address that's listed in the property appraiser's website. That's also where your tax bills go for this property. And it still to this day is an address in Madison, Alabama. So you will not be getting a notice or the order from this hearing in New York. It's going to go to Madison, Alabama.
Oh, okay. Is there any way I could change that, ma'am, so that it goes to me in New York?
That has to be changed with the property appraiser's office directly, which is a county office. We don't have the ability to control that. You have to contact.
Sure, of course. I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, Broward County property appraiser.
So if I'm going online and I'm Googling it, I Google Broward County property appraiser and take it from there?
That's correct.
I can do that. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you, Ms. Montoya.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Our next case is on page 2. Property address 520 Southeast 5th Avenue. Inspector Leonardo Martinez. Case number BE 21070378. Owner, Las Olas by the River Condo Association, Inc. Notice posted at the property 10/26/21. Posted at City Hall 11/4/21. Hi, Mr. Pearl. Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I do.
Thank you. Go ahead, Inspector.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Martinez, representing the city. Case and address as read. I visited this property to investigate a complaint on July 28th of 2021. I met with Sam. At that time, he was the manager that allowed me access into the pool and the garage areas. While performing my inspection, I observed that there were cracks on both parking garages, reinforced concrete slab, and cracks on the reinforced concrete slab, and there was water penetration that appears to be coming from the pool deck area. At that time of the inspection, I requested an engineer report to be submitted. We received the engineer report yesterday, and the letter stating that based on their assessment, the engineer assessment, bunker engineers, there is no dangers of any immediate failure on the columns beam and or floor slab. The property was cited under the city ordinance 9-280D. That says that all parts and areas subject to deterioration should be properly maintained and suitable protected from the elements. This case was opened on July 28, 2021. The inspection report was mailed to the property owner on July 8th of 2021. The final notice was mailed to the property owner in August 16 of 2021, and the notice of hearing was posted at the property on September 14th of 2021. We are asking your honor to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 60 days to apply and obtain the required permits to proceed with the repairs, or a fine of $100 per violation per day thereafter. After obtaining the permit, to grant the property owner with 180 days to complete the repairs, or $100 per day thereafter.
All right. On behalf of the owner?
Nothing to add, Your Honor. We're happy with that arrangement.
All right. Very good. I find the violation does exist and the relief requested by the city is granted.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Inspector.
Our next case is on page 31. Property address 906 Northwest 24th Ave. Inspector Jorge Martinez, case number CE 200-91023. Owner, Mickle Span, Homestead Exempted, Ashton Lesane. This case was first heard on 8/19/21 to comply by 9/30/21. One section complied at $50. City request to, okay, go ahead, Inspector.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, case number and address as read. This case is in compliance. City is requesting for fines to be waived.
All right, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Name is Mickle Span.
All right, you understand what he said?
Yes, I do.
All right, no fines will be imposed.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. Hart.
Our next case is on page 34. Property address 1016 Northeast 13th Avenue. Owner, Medici Properties LLC, case number BE 21060138. This case was first heard 7/15/21 to comply by 8/26/21. Fine suspended as noted in the agenda. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $1,000, which continues to accrue.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Martinez, case and address as read. Until today, no permit application has been submitted to the city. City doesn't support any extension at this time. I'm going to let the respondent to speak.
All right, so hang on. We have one that's complied and one not complied, correct? Or both complied?
You want to repeat myself?
Yeah, it's just one violation.
All right, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, so the city's requesting an extension of,
No. The city is not supporting any extension. No permit application has been submitted to the city.
all right, okay. Okay, so this is a, demolish the structure, okay, not in compliance, okay. All right, sir, please speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
My name is David Medici.
All right, you understand what the city's request is?
Not really. I really don't understand the city. I called last week. I talked to a head of the department, and after 3-4 months, they finally told me that I could draw my own architect drawings. I've just been given false information back and forth with the city. I can't do my own architect drawing. From what I understand, it's under a corporation. So I'm giving false information from this whole time. I had 2 violations on the property, and one is being the carport, which we're here right now. The other one is inside of the building, and we discussed this before. My choices are either tear the building down, and in lieu of that, I have to find out what it's going to cost me for the taxes to make it feasible for me. Either that or sell the property to investors so I won't have to deal with all this BS I have to deal with the city, with the different answers I'm getting from different people. I suffer from some anxieties, and I've asked Leo Martinez to give me some help with this. I finally found a contractor. The architect came by on last week. There were some problems with the architect drawings. I've asked him, please call the city. I can't make him pick up a phone. The applications are submitted. They'll be in tomorrow. I just got the text from the architect today in the GC. So everything is under compliance. From day one with Leo Martinez, I told him I bought the building as it was. And the wonderful thing the city likes to do is make corrections on the ignorance of myself. When I bought the property, it was legally a triplex. And the problem besides the roof is on the inside with being a duplex. And every document with the city has 3 units on it. So I bought the property, 3 units on the property county appraisers. I'm calling the property county, why is this happening? I'm not getting answers from anybody. This is consuming me for the last 4 months. Again, from day one, I said I bought the property and this is what it is. I feel like I'm being violated as a felony for a property that I bought. Again, I want to go in compliance with this. I have no objections with it. And I just asked for a little more time to work with the contractors.
Your Honor, this particular case is for an unsafe carport that was repaired without applying for the permit. Still, the carport is considered unsafe.
It was repaired for temporary structures while we're doing this, where the beam was going. So all they did was put 2 posts in a beam for temporary structure in lieu of getting the permits, so it would become safe. And now I'm being violated on that. I didn't do it to avoid the permit. I did it to save the structure of the building.
Well, you intend to demolish the property?
No, that was one of the choices I had. Either if they get the estimate to demolish the carport for another $5,000, I demolished the whole building. So I'm trying to justify my best value for the property. The property is not in your most desirable location. It's not desirable for a single-family home. I'm in between all commercial properties. They cut Sunrise Boulevard off me, so I'm in the commercial part of the road right off Sunrise Boulevard. I'm trying to see what the best use of the property is. Now, I did cost the city, it was a legal what I was told when I did a closing table, legal triplex. So everything is already divided into 3 units. I've asked the city, what do I have to do?
No, this case is not about that. This case is about the unsafe carport.
Yeah, exactly.
That's another separate case.
Exactly. And for my decision to take the carport down, I have to make a decision on the inside. They also gave me a 30-day to paint the roof. Somebody's after me for this here, and it's not really nice. I'm here trying to be compliant. I bought the house as is what it is. Now, yes, the carport has some deterioration. I did this 3 years ago. I hired a roofer to come in, to pull permits to do the roof. I gave him $900 for whatever he needed. He never showed back up. So it's just almost impossible to get people to do it. The city in the city, it's just impossible.
I'm still not understanding. What are you going to do with this property?
I'm going to have it repaired. I don't even know this to this day. Either they're going to repair it or tear it down. Every contractor tells me something different. I hear one time, okay, you can repair it. One time you have to take it down. It's not supported. You need straps. You need this. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a contractor. I'm I'm guilty for buying a house that everything documented said 3 units. Everything says 3 units. So for the carport is I have to decide what I have to do. So it took me this long to figure out what they need to do inside. So I said, we have to do after the fact permits. After the fact, the wall was put up before I bought it. I never got an answer from the city. Can I put a wall? Then he tells me to call zoning. I know what the zoning is.
Your Honor,
I could put
this
4
case
units
is
on
in
the unit.
postponed, not to discuss the case. The case was discussed in another hearing that we have.
I'm
previous.
sorry if you don't hear my case, but he asked me a question.
Whoa, hang on. One at a time. Let him finish. Go ahead.
No, it's just giving the false information. I talked to the building inspector, saying that pissed me off last week when he told me I could have drawn my own drawings. This would have been done years ago, or for years ago, whatever time it was, 3 months ago. I just want to comply, and I want to go on and work my job. This is consuming for the last 2 months, and physically and mentally.
All right. Okay. Now.
So again, I just talked to the guy. He said he had the architect drawings. This is from the condo. Good morning. I just left a message to Mr. Martinez to let him know we have done the architect plans and submit for permits tomorrow. I've worked with him in a couple of properties. He's good to work with. I'm going to get a copy of the plans, show you, so you can show the city and get ready for a submit. What time is your hearing? I told him last week it was today. I can't get him on the phone and give me these questions.
All right. Okay. All right.
It's impossible.
Okay. Final word from the city. Go ahead.
The city doesn't support any extension.
I'm sorry.
The city does not support any extension.
Does not support. Okay. All right. Okay. This is. Okay. I'm going to. I'm going to grant the city's request that the fines be imposed and continue to accrue, but I want this case back, a mandatory appearance on December 16th, 2021.
Can you explain what that means?
Yes, the fines are imposed and continue to accrue, mandatory reappearance and.
I know what you said. Can you explain what it means? When you say the fines, every day I get charged $50?
All right, okay, you'll.
Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I've made my ruling. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 24. Inspector Hector Suarez. I'm sorry. Property address 1045 Northeast 18th Ave. Case number BE 21040025. Owner Galleria Lofts Condominium Association, Inc. This case was first heard on 6/17/21 to comply by 7/29/21. One section complied at $50. City is requesting to impose fines of $1,305.20.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Suarez present.
1 second, please. 1 second. I got it. All right, good. Okay, this is a hearing to impose fines. All right. Okay, on behalf of the city.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Suarez presenting case BE 21040025, 1045 Northeast 18th Avenue. On 10/28/2021, this case has come into compliance with fines accrued. We got a respondent here who wants to talk.
All right, okay, on behalf of the owner.
Thank you, Your Honor. Christopher Mark Reed on behalf of the owner, Galleria Lofts Condominium Association, Inc. I also have Nicholas Rosado, who's the president of the association, with me today. We'd ask that the fines in this case be waived. We were here last month in October. We explained essentially what happened in this case. The association received its initial violation notice on May 19th, 2021, which provided for a hearing date of June 13th, 2021. The association immediately contacted its property management company, and the property manager confirmed via email on May 21st. I have a copy of the email where the property manager stated, "We will have the backflow inspected prior to the hearing date, and we'll reach out to the inspector. Once we have the backflow inspected, the hearing will not take place." The association was under the impression that the issue was being resolved, that there would be no fines, that everything would be corrected prior to the hearing date. Unfortunately, for some unknown reason, nobody appeared on the June 13th hearing date, even though the property management company was aware. The property management company's last day of service for this property was actually June 30th. Thereafter, there was a new property management company that only lasted about a month, and then there was a new property management company. The association only became aware that the violation had not been corrected when they received the city's notice dated September 10th. Following receipt of that notice, they immediately hired a backflow contractor to come out and inspect. They came out and inspected and had everything inspected and determined there were repairs required. They made the repairs, and everything was actually completed as of the magistrate hearing last month, as of October 14th. However, there was an issue downloading everything on the VSI system because there was an issue with the serial numbers and the property addresses for the property. So it took a little while, a few extra days for that to get downloaded. However, everything has come into compliance in a fairly timely manner, considering we would contend that the failure to comply prior to June 30th was due to circumstances beyond the board's control, as they thought the situation was being resolved. Therefore, we'd ask that the fines be waived.
Anything else from the city?
Your Honor, this case was out of compliance for 61 days. I understand that there was a change of, fines actually accrued up to $3,050. City is requesting to impose administrative costs of $1,305.20.
$1,305.20. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 36. Property address 6231 Northeast 20th Way. Inspector Leonardo Martinez. Owner Paul Miller. Case number CE 20120089. This case was first heard on 4/15/21 to comply by 6/17/21. Fine suspended as noted in the agenda. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $4,500, which continues to accrue.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Martinez, representing the city. Case and address as read. This is a case for imposition of fines, and the city is requesting the full amount. I'm going to provide you with the letter that we received from one of the neighbors, and I'm going to provide her as well with the same letter, okay?
I got a letter. I can't even see it.
Kitchen.
Multiple votes. Live there. There's people also living in the front.
And who is this letter from?
It's an anonymous letter was sent to the commissioner and to us. It should be from one of the neighbors of near the property. Just to give you, this case is to the imposition of fines. The city is not supporting any other extensions.
Okay. All right, ma'am, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Yes, sir. My name is Sonia Mitchell.
All right.
My husband.
Paul Miller owns the home?
That is correct.
Okay. What's your connection to Paul Miller?
He is my husband.
All right. Okay. Okay.
No.
Go ahead. You have a problem here. You've been out of
If I'm-
compliance for 90 days.
If I may, Your Honor.
Yes,
may I speak,
please.
please.
Go ahead.
God's honest truth, I don't even know whether I'm coming or going. My husband was diagnosed with cancer. During the time that we bought the property, we hired a contractor who we're first-time homeowners. it's our dream home. And the contractor told us they're gonna put the driveway in exactly the way the other one was, and I do have pictures the only understanding I got was the driveway and a tiki hut and a kitchen we was building. So they said if I've had the kitchen island on wheels, it's okay. So we did that. We put the island on wheels as far as I can understand, but between my husband being so bad sick and I don't know if he's dying or not.
Okay, all right, just calm down, ma'am.
Okay,
Take a
this
deep
picture
breath.
is the way I bought the home. My husband put in a new beautiful driveway. I don't know what the problem is. The contractor that I hired, the last time there was a hearing, he was supposed to be here, but he had COVID. So I have text messages in my phone, me begging and pleading to this contractor to help me understand and do whatever it is that we have to do to comply. I'm not trying to comply. I went to the city of Fort Lauderdale and they sent me to another address. I came here then they sent me to another address and they gave me this because I was told on the phone that I could pick up a permit. So when I went to pick up the permit, they said, no, they can't give it to me because of these reasons, which I don't understand. Right now as we speak, my husband is in bed throwing up. And yes, there's a family coming because we don't know when is the last time we're going to see him. And I don't know what else to say. And here is where the contractor told me he emailed something. I don't know about email and the technology today. I didn't even know I could be there on the screen because we was in Cincinnati, Ohio for second opinions for over 60 days. For a second opinion to try to save my husband's life. So I didn't know we could do that. So we actually flew in, we flew in from Cincinnati to appear here last time. But for over 2 months almost, I was see if there's a doctor that could help my husband. So I printed out these through the email. The guy at the post office helped me to do that. And he says to me, Sonia, I do not agree that you and Paul should sign and notarize this because the contractor could put any amount of money that he wants. He could charge me $1 million that I don't have if we sign this and notarize it and send it back. It's no amount of money on it, so he could just put it on there later. We're worried about being scammed again like we was the first contractor. And they assured me everything was done, by law, by the way to be in compliance.
I'm not getting a lot of what you're saying because you're
I'm sorry.
distressed and upset.
I'm sorry.
Okay, final word from the
City doesn't support any extension, Your Honor.
because there's been previous extensions.
Yes, sir, but please understand that the extensions and then the sickness is getting worse and worse. My husband is not getting better. When
Your
we
Honor,
got the
there is a
extension,
tiki hut. There is a tiki hut there with the kitchen. They're doing barbecue under it. It's representing a threat to the neighborhood.
I will show
City is
you.
not supporting any extension.
I will show you it's a portable island now. I had that done. My husband does all this, and he lost like.
Okay, here, ma'am, you've got irate neighbors apparently.
Yes.
One moment, Your Honor.
Yes.
Your Honor?
Yes, okay, yes.
Your Honor, if I could, the owner of the property is Paul Miller, and the deeds that are listed on BCPA as of July indicates that Mr. Miller is a single man. So did you recently get married, ma'am?
We get married not the way you traditionally do get married, but I do have we have last will and testament, mine and his, and power attorney, mine and his, and
Well,
God willing.
Ma'am, in order to speak at this hearing, if you are not married to Mr. Miller, in the traditional legal manner, you need to have a power of attorney
I
to
do.
speak on his behalf.
I have a paper that says power attorney. That's,
You have it with
Have you provided that?
I don't have it with me, but I do have it. I am a power attorney because he got so sick.
Not with you.
No, but I
You
can,
told me earlier you were married to Paul Miller.
I am married to Paul Miller.
You are. When did you get married to Paul Miller?
Oh my gosh. I was 16. It happened October 3rd, 1982.
Okay, well, Your Honor, as I indicated, the deeds on this property in BCPA reflect that Mr. Miller is a single man.
We just took off as
Okay.
children, and we have 16 grandkids and one more on the way.
Okay, all right, okay, ma'am. We got problems here. You say you've got a power of attorney.
I do.
You say you're married.
I am.
Public record says Paul Miller is a single man. We've got stuff straightened out here. But
Okay.
Nevertheless, this has been going on for a long time. And you've got to come into compliance one way or the other. And I can't do anything.
What do I need to do to come into compliance?
Ma'am, I'm talking. I can't do much to help you until you come into compliance. So I'm going to grant the city's request that the fines are imposed, continue to accrue. When you come into compliance, we'll address the fines, all right? But coming into compliance has got to be your next step.
Okay, what is that? What do I do? Where do I go? How do I?
You can speak to this gentleman. I'm sure he's more than willing to explain to you.
Yes, sir.
Just 'cause people.
I had explained it before, and I will explain it again.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 7, Inspector Alejandro Abores, property address 2555 Northeast 11th Street, owner Horizon House Condo Association, Inc., case number BE 2107-0043, notice posted at the property on 10/19/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Inspector Abores, on behalf of Chief George Oliva, case number and address is read. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter. The respondent is here to speak.
Okay, ma'am, if you'll speak right into the microphone, you can
Yes.
adjust that and state your name, please.
My name is Sharon Viverette. I'm the property manager for Horizon House Condominium at the address just mentioned.
Anything you'd like to add?
No, sir.
All right, for the record, I found the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
One moment, Your Honor. Our next case is on page 4. Property address 750 Southeast 3rd Ave. Inspector Alejandro Abores. Case number BE 2107-0071. Owner AIDS Healthcare Foundation, Inc. Notice posted at the property on 10/19/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Inspector Abores, on behalf of Chief George Oliva, case number and address is read. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
Mr. Vincent, can you please raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes.
Thank you. You may go ahead.
All right, on behalf of the owner. Sir?
Go ahead, Mr. Vincent.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Okay, it's your turn to speak.
Okay, we were finally able to schedule an inspector to come out, and he was here yesterday and performed the inspection, and we are supposed to have his report within 20 days.
All right, excellent. Okay, for the record, I found the violation does exist. 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
When does that start? After the 42 days?
It starts today. 42 days starts today.
Okay.
You get a report within 20, so.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 26. Property address 1012 Southwest 5th Place. Inspector Alejandro Abores. Case number CE 200900261. Owner, Roshan Asset Management LLC. This case was first heard on 2/18/21 to comply by 4/22/21. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $10,450, which continues to accrue.
Alexander Abores, Building Inspector for the city, updating you on case and address is read. The property was cited for work without permit, FPC 2017, Section 105.1. The case is not compliant. City is requesting fines to be imposed.
On behalf of the owner,
He stepped out, sir.
Hello, my name is LeBron.
Hi, Mr. Biggers, can you please raise your right hand? Do you
Yes, I
swear
can.
to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Again, my name is LaJuan Biggers. I'm the managing member of Roshan Asset Management. I acquired this property early July last year. In doing so, it's an investment property. I've been an absentee owner. Doing some repairs and some additions. I come into a situation where my business partners became squatters. So I've been restricted from having access to the property to remedy this issue. But I found out about this issue once the neighbor view was blocked of the river. It became some hostility between the current occupant and the neighbor next door. So this fine that's being imposed was a part of the property about 10 years before I purchased it. The neighbor next door advised the city of the violation and retaliation for the view being blocked. Meanwhile, with all of that taking place, I haven't had any remedies to get access to the property through this moratorium that our current president has put in place, COVID, and me being an absentee owner. So what I would like to have happen, I would like to have the fees or fines waived, at least to administrative costs. I understand it takes money to hold these proceedings. And it would also position me to sell the property where I can make an investment elsewhere without such a headache.
well, unfortunately,
Your Honor, if I could. Your Honor.
yes.
Thank you. Rana Montoya Hassan with the City Attorney's Office. I'm not aware that the President of the United States has put into place any moratoria which relates to squatters or the ability to eject squatters on the property. So that is just a complete incorrect statement. There has always been the ability throughout the entirety of the pandemic to address squatters. The only thing that was in place was foreclosures. There was a moratorium on foreclosing on the property. So the property owner is not really making a correct statement. Additionally, I've looked up the LLC, and Mr. Biggers is the only listed manager of that property. So legally, again, the city doesn't have any information to know that if he had any business partners or not, because it's a sole managing member of the LLC that owns the property. So if there indeed are squatters on the property, there's certainly been no prohibition and is no prohibition to seek legal recourse in our courts to eject those individuals and get the property into compliance.
Okay, so the city's recommendation remains the same.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
May I speak, Your Honor?
Go ahead. You want to add one last comment?
Yes, so whether it's foreclosures or evictions, I did seek remedy through Fort Lauderdale Police. I filed a police report. So if you guys would like to proceed this way, we will revisit this. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to grant the city's request that the fines be imposed and continue to accrue.
Say again, sir? I apologize. I didn't hear you.
The fines have been imposed and will continue to accrue.
Okay, so question two,
Next,
if I may.
Thank you.
call the next case.
Our next case is on page
Well, good luck, guys.
16, property address 800 Northwest 65th Street. Chief George Oliva, owner Desert Powerline Warehouse 800 Northwest 65 LLC. Case number BE 21070053. Notice posted at the property on 10/22/21. Posted at City Hall on 11/4/21. Hi, Mr. Pizzi. Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceeding?
Yes.
Thank you. One moment, the chief is coming.
Good morning, George Oliva on behalf of the city. This case is not in compliance. The 40-year report has not been submitted to the city, and the city is going to recommend a 42-day extension for the report to be submitted to the city. If it's not, $100 per day thereafter.
Okay, I'm sorry, 42 days or
42 days to submit the report.
or a fine.
For compliance, and $100 per day thereafter.
All right, on behalf of the owner.
Yeah, Michael Pizzi on behalf of the Desler family and the property owner. We're in agreement with the 42 days. The engineers are out there the past couple of days. The engineers are out there the past couple of days. We will get the report submitted to the city well in advance of the 42 days. So we're in agreement.
All right, very good. For the record, I found the violation does exist. 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Thank you.
You too, Mike.
Thank you.
Thanks, George. Happy Thanksgiving, my friend.
Our next case is on page 32. Inspector Jose Saragusti, property address 2029 North Ocean. Okay, that's the wrong page. Sorry. I'm sorry. It's on page 30, page 30. Property address 2029 North Ocean Boulevard, number 406. Case number BE 200-60174. Owner Gerald R. Miles. This case was first heard on 7/15/21 to comply by 8/26/21. One section complied at $50. City is requesting the full amount of $850.
Good morning, Jose Saragusti, building inspector for the city, presenting the case number as read. The case is complied. The city is requesting administrative fees of $258.
Of how much?
258
Oh, so it's not 8. Okay. All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
is complied.
I'm sorry, the city's request is?
The case is complied, and the city is requesting administrative fees of $258.
258. All right. Okay. All right, sir, if you'll speak right to the microphone and state your name, please.
Yes, good morning. My name is Gerald Miles.
All right. You understand what this gentleman said?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to impose administrative
Oh,
costs.
am I able to
Go
speak?
ahead, sure. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm not in the construction business. I'm just a resident and an owner of an apartment. This is related to an air conditioner that was installed in 2009 in my apartment. And apparently the company that I hired did not close the permit. This past spring, during the height of COVID, I received a phone call from Mr. Saragusti explaining that they were looking to close the 2009 permit in 2021. The next day, I went to the building department on 19th Street, and there was a little booth that you had to make an appointment and wait in a car. And I made a chart here. This is all of the times I came to the building department this year. And my question was to the building department was, I could not understand Mr. Saragusti the day we spoke. I'm not in the construction business. And I found all these times I've come and no one has been able to help me. I have names of everybody. The company that I put it in has been out of business for years. So once talking to all these people, they kept moving me to departments because they said it was so old. And my point being is I could not reach the company. They're out of business. During COVID, to call new companies, I called many because I had...
You understand, the fines were suspended during the COVID.
Right, but I'm just trying to say that this is, I put a lot of work into this to see
I
this.
understand, and the fines are going to be reduced to administrative cost, $258.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is at the bottom of page 27. Chief George Oliva, property address 1309 East Las Olas Boulevard. Case number BE 200-60059, owner PDKNP-7 LLC. This case was first heard on 5/20/21 to comply by 7/1/21. One section complied at $100. Total fines are $8,000. City is requesting to reduce fines to $575. Hi, Ms. Pleffner, can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I do.
Thank you.
George Oliva on behalf of the city. Case and address as read. This case came into compliance on September 24, 2021, and the city will request the administration cost for the case, which is $575.
All right, on behalf of the owner?
Thank you, Your Honor. We would absolutely appreciate George Oliva's request for administrative cost. My apologies. My name is Lauren Kleffner. I'm a law clerk with...
Did we get your name for the record?
Yes, my apologies. My name is Lauren Kleffner, law clerk with Crush Law, and I'm here on behalf of PDKNP-7 LLC.
All right, I'm going to impose administrative cost, $575.
Thank you, Your Honor, and thank you, Chief Oliva.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, at this time, we're going to take a small recess, please. Thank you. Jerry? Our next case is on page 1. Inspector Nash Medic, property address 100 South Birch Road, case number BE 211-00105. Owner, Jackson Tower Las Olas Condo Association, Inc. Notice posted at the property on 10/25/21. Posted at City Hall 11/4/21. One moment. He's not there? Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. It looks like he may have fell off. This was a virtual attendee, but it looks like he may have fell off. Okay, we'll recall it if he comes back on. I'm sorry, Nash.
Okay.
Okay, our next case is on page. Oh gosh, 25. Our next case is on page 25. No, that's Inspector Del Rio. Sorry, he's not there. Inspector Hector Suarez on page 24. I'm sorry. Did we already listen to 1045 Northeast 18th Avenue?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No problem.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. There's the ones that are in line, the inspector's not here, so I have to skip around.
Right, okay, we're on page 25.
No, that inspector's not here. So we're going to go to page 20. Is Alejandro Abores here? No? Oh, yes. We're going to go to page 26.
26.
Yes. Property address 600 5 Key Drive. Case number BE 2106. Wait a minute. Yeah, 2106-0077. Owner, Gaddis Properties, LLC. This property was cited on 6/14/21 to comply by 6/17/21. One section complied at $200. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $5,200. The appeal deadline was 6/29/21. No appeal received.
Alejandro Abores, building inspector for the city, presenting case and address as read. I initially visited this property June 14th, 2021 to investigate a complaint and found that the pool was filled with water at the time. Records show permit PM 181-21720 issue with building pool barrier and electrical final inspection pending. The property was cited for violation of 9-1D. Any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be a violation of this section and punishable as provided for this section. Violation of 2020 FPC, section 454.2.19. Final electrical and barrier code inspections shall be completed prior to filling the pool with water. The contractor, he's been very cooperative in trying to resolve this issue. Contractor at the time was dealing with the loss of a family member. And due to the unique circumstances, city's supports for fines to be waived. The case was complied in July 14, 2021. The respondent is here to speak.
Okay, I'm sorry. Is this a citation case?
Yes, Your Honor.
It is a citation case. And their deadline for appeal was June 29th. No appeal received, so the violation is admitted. Okay, all right. Okay, and the city's recommendation is impose the full amount. No?
Yes, the city does not object, however, for fines to be waived due to the unique special circumstances.
Fines to be waived?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Okay, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Yeah, good morning, Your Honor. How are you? Anyway, my name is Zen Merzwa, and I'm the builder developer of this property. And I lost a family member. I was under the management of this property, and they filled the pool. I was at the funeral. And I've contacted the inspector numerous times the day he was there, and I thought I did a great job trying to comply with everything he's asked for. The building has been final now for a month and a half. People are living there, and it's on the tax roll.
Okay, all right. So the city's request is the fines be waived.
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to grant that request.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, City of Fort Lauderdale. Thank you.
Our next case is on page 32. Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 2941 Southwest 13th Court, case number CE 200-90232. Owner Veronica Galvez. This case was first heard on 5/20/21 to comply by 6/24/21. Fine suspended as noted in the agenda. One section complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $4,750. Ms. Galvez, can you please start your video? Can you please raise your right hand?
me?
Yes, I can see you. Can you please? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
Yes.
Thank you.
Can you repeat the address, please?
2941 Southwest 13th Court,
There you go.
Fort Lauderdale.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, case number and address as read. This case is in compliance. The city is requesting for fines to be reduced to $250.
City's requesting the full amount of the fine.
No, to reduce the fines to $250.
Turns out that the paperwork that we submitted,
Okay, ma'am, state your name, please.
my name is Veronica Galvez.
All right, anything you want to add?
Well, I'd like to add is that I'm sorry that it took so long. It turns out that I had to they ended up canceling the permit that was initially submitted. And then I had to go personally and do a walkthrough, and they had to issue a new permit because they couldn't read the seals on the raised seals on the plans that they submitted.
Okay, pursuant to the city's request, I'm going to reduce the fine to $250.
Okay,
Thank you, ma'am.
thank you.
Our next case is on page 25. Inspector Alejandro Del Rio. Property address 3142 Northeast 9th Street. Owner 3134 Northeast 9th LLC. Case number BE 2007-0186. This case was first heard on 6/17/21 to comply by 9/16/21. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $3,100, which continues to accrue.
Good morning, Building Inspector Alejandro Del Rio for the city. I just received information this morning that the property owner requested that expired permit to be voided, and the void request is being processed. City is requesting to suspend the fines and give the property owner 28-day extension to comply.
All right, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
My name is Dev Christian Lalwani.
All right, did you understand what this gentleman said?
I do, thank
I'm going to grant a 28-day extension and stay the fines as of this date.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 34. Inspector Leonardo Martinez. Property address 880 West Sunrise Boulevard. Owner First Coast Energy LLP. Case number BE 200800209. This case was first heard on 6/17/21 to comply by 7/15/21. Fine suspended as noted in the agenda. Two sections not complied at $100. The city is requesting to impose the full amount of $6,800, which continues to accrue.
Building Inspector Martinez, representing the city. Case and address as read. At this point, the city doesn't support any extension, Your Honor. There is a permit in process, and this case was opened on September of 2020. City is requesting the imposition of fines.
Okay, so the city does not agree to an extension?
No, not at this time, Your Honor.
All right, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Trent Turner, Market Manager for First Coast Energy.
All right, anything you want to add to what this gentleman said?
I do agree with the city. I became aware of this issue in June of 2021. I understand it dates back to the prior year. Since that point, we had to internally decide if it was in our best interest to demolish the structure or bring it to code. We since decided to demolish the structure and contracted with Miami Wrecking to move that process along. That was in end of July with a site survey that took 4 to 6 weeks, which last time I was here, I explained that to Your Honor, and they haven't been upholding our expectation as the vendor that we have secured for this project. But we're so far along that we're not going to pull it from them at this point. We'll handle that internally. I can tell you that the electrical disconnect was completed, and it does show as complete in the system. The plumbing repair to cap the sewer to the auxiliary building, it was applied for, and I believe earlier this week, the demolition permit was sent back to the expediter to make some changes, specifically with silt screening and covering storm drains and stuff. So we have every intent to have this building raised and sod in as planned state. It has taken longer than I would like it to, and I 100% understand the city's position.
All
I
right.
will humbly request an extension if possible.
All right. City's position on a request for an extension
City doesn't support an extension at this time, Your Honor.
does not
Does not.
object or does not agree.
It's been quite a long period of time. It's taking longer and longer, and I mean, that's
Okay, so
what
this-
we base our decision on.
City's request then is that fines be imposed and continue to accrue.
Yes, sir.
All right, okay. All right, well, you're moving toward getting this in compliance. Once you get it into compliance, we can address the fines, but for right now, I'm going to impose the fines and they'll continue to accrue.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Your Honor, at this time, we would like to recall case BE 211-00105 on page 1 for 100 South Birch Road. The respondent is back. Mr. Schindel, can you please start your video, please? Mr. Lawrence Schindel?
Come in, you can. All right, there's video, sorry.
Hi.
I'm sorry, we had technical issues. I apologize.
It's okay. Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceedings?
I do.
Thank you. Go ahead,
Thank
Inspector.
you.
One moment. The inspector will go first. Go ahead.
Good morning, Inspector Maddock for City of Fort Lauderdale, for the case as read. I initially visited this property on 10/15/2021 to investigate a complaint regarding rusting rebar through deteriorating concrete on a balcony of the unit 2702. During this inspection, I spoke with the building manager, Nellie Nickerson, about concrete spalling on a building of the same unit. She informed me that undergoing project of a construction restoration is about to take place and all external concrete issues will be taken care of. I informed her that we will need an engineering report within 7 days with his finding of this existing issue and his recommended appropriate remediation. We received the engineering report and management agreed to include this repair under the existing concrete restoration permit. Property was cited for violation section 9-306, where the exterior of the building was not maintained. This case was opened on October 7th, 2021. We're asking, Your Honor, to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 180 days to come into compliance.
We don't have any pictures for this case?
There were pictures taken, yes. We don't have them posted.
No. You have them in the case, but they were not uploaded to the Q drive. Is that what you're saying?
They should have been uploaded. I'm not sure what happened.
Okay. Ms. Hassan?
Yeah, so thank you, Your Honor. A couple of things. Rana Montoya Hassan with the City Attorney's Office. First, we have two cases, two companion cases. We cited the association and the unit owner, recognizing that in most circumstances, a balcony is a limited common element, which the association has to repair. Not always the case. So in abundance of caution, we cited both. So hopefully someone would tell us that. But unfortunately, without pictures, Your Honor is unable to view the evidence. And in my opinion, we need to reschedule this case to present the proper evidence before Your Honor.
All right, we do have a representative on behalf of the city. I'm sorry, the owner.
Yes, thank you very much in allowing me to appear by, I'll just say by Zoom. I had spoken with the property manager, the engineer, the contractor, as well as the city inspector. The job should be completed fairly soon. So in order to keep your case moving along, we would accept the association, on behalf of the association, we would accept full responsibility to do the correct repair. We would ask that the city dismiss it against the unit owner. We are going to do it, and I think, and we would agree to 180 days. It'll be done well in advance of that. There's no life safety issue for this balcony, but we should have it done probably within the next, with materials, and you just never know, probably within the next month. But that's what I'm asking. I think it would just waste a lot of our time to reset it. We're accepting full responsibility.
And Mr. Schindel, we appreciate that. Obviously, we always like to have proof for the magistrate to view, but in light of what you're saying, which we appreciate very much, Your Honor, I think it would be appropriate to dismiss and close, or actually the city will just withdraw BE 210-80083. The city will withdraw that, Your Honor, because that relates to the individual unit owner. And as Mr. Schindel has kindly admitted that the association will take on the repair, I think Your Honor can have a finding in the case ending in 105 and set a time for compliance.
And just additionally, we'll waive the special master having to look at the evidence of the photographs. I just want to put that on the record as well. We're okay with that.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate that.
Yes.
So what do we do? You think you're going to have it done within how many days?
It's at 180.
Yeah, I just to be safe, we can always, the city inspector will be out there once it's all done, but just to be safe, we were talking 180.
180 days. Okay. Okay. So pursuant to the agreement, I'm going to do grant 100. I find the violation does exist, and 182 days to comply, $150 per day thereafter.
Yes.
Okay. Now, technically, case ending in 0083. We're gonna. Should we do
Withdrawn.
that?
Withdrawn.
That's resolved. Okay. All
Withdrawn.
Right. Consider resolved. All right. Very good. Thank you, Counselor.
Thank you all, and everyone stay safe. Thank you for your cooperation.
You too.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And sorry for the technical difficulties on my end.
It's okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Our next case is at the top of page 28. Great job, Nash. His first case. In spite of no pictures. Property address 1750 Southwest 31st Avenue. Chief George Oliva. Oh, page 28 at the top.
28.
Chief George Oliva. Property address 1750 Southwest 31st Ave. Case number CE 1508-2096. Owner, Florida Power and Light Company, in care of property tax. Fines were suspended as noted in the agenda. This case was first heard on 5/19/16 to comply by 11/17/16. One section complied at $250. Total fines are $73,000. City is requesting to reduce fines to $1,969.
All right,
Chief
Mr.
George
Cleveland.
Lee, on behalf of the city is in agreement to reduce the fines.
All right, ma'am, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Good morning, Hope Calhoun, attorney on behalf of the property owner. We agree with the stipulated settlement, and we're happy to pay the reduced, we will pay the reduced fine.
Imposed fines of $1,969.
Thank you very much. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 28 as well. Chief George Oliva, property address 2491 West State Road 84. Case number CE 1704-1134. Owner, Bill Richardson Trust. Bill Richardson. Fines were suspended as noted in the agenda. This case was first heard on 8/17/17 to comply by 2/13/18. One section not complied at $100. City is requesting for a 42-day extension.
George Lee, on behalf of the city, case and address as read. Yes, the city is requesting an extension of time due to the fact that one of the professional engineer passed away and the report was halfway done by the time that he passed. But I'm going to let the attorney for Mr. Richardson speak.
Good morning, Mr. Purdy. Rod Feiner on behalf of Coker and Feiner. We agree with the 42-day extension, but to make matters short, we actually did the inspection. The engineer submitted the letter, but it was addressed to Broward County, not the city, so it was deemed void. You would think it would be easy to get the engineer to write a new letter, except he died. And so he was a sole practitioner, so we got to get a brand-new engineer who either come out and inspect or rely upon his work, which everyone after Surfside is loath to do. So we're currently working on that, and to make matters worse, Mr. Richardson is now passed away, so we're going through probate in Oklahoma to get permission to fund the new engineer.
All right, so I'm going to grant a 42-day extension and stay the fines of the state.
Thank you, sir. Have a pleasant day. Everyone else have a pleasant Thanksgiving.
Sole practitioner?
I'm not. No, my partner is Dick Coker.
Yes.
He's still practicing, sir. Yes, sir.
Not day.
He's a kid.
Yeah. Have a nice day.
You too, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, George. Happy Thanksgiving.
You too, my friend.
Our next case is at the bottom of page 28. Chief George Oliva, property address 3003 Granada Street, case number BE 200-70253. Owner, Blue Skies Realty Investment, Inc. This case was first heard 2/18/21 to comply by 8/17/21. One section complied at $100. City is requesting to reduce fines to $575. Is Ms. Ware? I'm sorry, Mr. Russell?
Yes.
There's Miss Ware. I thought she was on with you.
That's my wife. I was scheduled to be in a Zoom meeting in another case, not a City of Fine case, a child support case. And I didn't think I could be here, so my wife was going to represent me. But that case finished at 10 o'clock, so now I'm here.
Okay, that's fine. But actually, I would need to see a copy of your ID before you can.
Oh, my ID?
Yes, I did receive it from your wife. So I'll go ahead and I'll recall this case and move to another case, and you can send your identification to me via email at tawilliams@fortlauderdale.gov.
Okay, we'll do it promptly.
Okay, thank you. Your Honor, we'll recall that case. Sorry.
Where is my wife?
Our next case is on page 8. Property address 2820 Northeast 30th Street. Inspector Alejandro Abores. Owner, Laurel Terrace, Inc., case number BE 2107-0144. Notice posted at the property on 10/22/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Inspector Abores, on behalf of Chief George Oliva, case number and address as read. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
All right, sir, if you'll state your name, please.
Mark Loshuk, I'm the property manager for Laurel Terrace.
All right, anything you'd like to add?
I do have the completed report. We just needed to submit it to the city.
Okay. All right, I found the violation does exist. 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 24. Inspector Alejandro Del Rio, property address 416 Southwest 25th Ave. Owner, Joseph Caprice. Case number CE 15111446. This case was first heard on 4/21/16 to comply by 10/18/16. 3 section not complied at $50. Total amount of fines is $227,100, and the fines continue to accrue. 2 extensions noted.
Good morning, Building Inspector Del Rio with the CEO for Lauderdale. Mr. Caprice informed me that he is already in the process of obtaining all the documents necessary for the CO, and we agree on giving him 30-day extension, stopping the fines, and giving him a 30-day extension to comply.
All right, sir, just for the record, if you'll state your name.
My name is Joseph Caprice, and I accept that.
Okay, so, okay, you've gotten prior extensions. You've got 2 in compliance, huge fines on each. So I'm going to grant a 35-day extension and stay the fines as of this date.
Thank you.
Get this taken care of, sir.
Our next case is on page 25. Inspector Bobby Mazzula, property address 1400 Northeast 16th Court, case number BE 21010035. Owner, MDR Motors LLC, in care of Michael Greco Jr. This case was first heard on 2/18/21 to comply by 4/15/21. 1 section complied at $100. City is requesting the full amount of $3,900.
Robert Masula, Fort Lauderdale Building Inspector, updating you on case BE 21010035, property address 1400 Northeast 16th Court. Your Honor, the violation for the code case was removed. We would recommend the fines be reduced to an administrative cost of $1,360. Thank you.
All right, sir, if you'll step up to the microphone and state your name, please.
Louis Izquierdo with Greco Ford, representing the owners down here in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, do you understand what this gentleman said?
Yes, I do.
All right. Okay, I'm going to impose administrative cost $1,350.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Sir.
Our next case at the bottom of page 25, Inspector Bobby Mazzula, property address 2121 Southeast 21st Ave. Case number CE 11070139. Owner, R&R Walters LLC. This case was first heard on 7/18/13 to comply by 9/19/13. 1 section complied at $25. Total fines are $59,225. City is requesting to reduce fines to $1,500.
Robert Masula, Fort Lauderdale Building Inspector, updating you on case CE 11070139, property address 2121 Southeast 21st Avenue. Your Honor, the house was completely demoed in late 2009. The previous expired seawall permit, PM 10071905, was closed out February 16th, 2012. The previous expired fence permit, PM 10081565, was closed June 18th, 2020. We would request that the fine be settled as an administrative cost for $1,500. Thank you.
All right, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Sure, Your Honor. My name is Al Torrey, representing the owners, Walters.
All right, any objection?
No.
All right, I'm going to pose administrative costs, $1,500.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 32. Inspector Jorge Martinez. Property address 1301 Northwest 24th Ave. Case number CE 200806564. Owner Valdez Castellanos, Jose Ricardo, Mariel Colindres Espinal. This case was first heard on 7/15/21 to comply by 9/16/21. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $3,100, which continues to accrue.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, case number and address as read. The city is requesting right now for fines to be stopped and a 63-day extension.
I'm sorry, how many days?
63.
Okay. Okay, ma'am, if you'll speak into the microphone and state your name, please.
Marjorie Espinal Colindres.
Okay, so the city's agreeable to a 63-day extension.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to grant a 63-day extension and stay the fines as of this date.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here and at this time, we would like to recall the case on page 28. Chief George Oliva, 3003 Granada Street, case number BE 2007-0253. Hi, Mr. Russell. Can you please start your video?
I'm working on it. Sorry about that.
Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm to tell the truth at today's proceeding?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you.
George Oliva, on behalf of the city, this case came into compliance, Your Honor, and the city is requesting for the fine to be reduced to the administration cost of $575.
All right, sir, on behalf of the owner.
Basically, if the administration costs cannot be lowered, then I have nothing to say except for accept the judgment. If the administration costs can be lowered, I would just state that we tried as quickly as possible to come into compliance once we had changed from trying to demo the property to reopening it and had to meet the 10-year or 50-year certification.
Okay, I'm going to impose administrative cost $575. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 13. Chief George Oliva, property address 501 South Andrews Ave. Owner 501 South Andrews Avenue LLC, in care of Greenberg, Troik, PA. Case number BE 2107-0264. Notice posted at the property on 10/27/21. Posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
George Oliva, on behalf of the city, case and address as read. This is a 40-year case, and the report has not been submitted to the city, and the city is requesting an extension of 42 days for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the 40-year report or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
All right, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name.
Shelby Smith with Berger Commercial. How are you doing, Mr. Purdy?
Doing well. How are you?
Long time. We accept the 42 days. That gives us what we need to be able to obtain the report.
All right, very good. 42 days, if the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
You got it. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 3. Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 3010 Northeast 56. He's not here?
I'm sorry, page 3.
No, it's going to be on page 27.
No, 27.
Yes. Inspector Alexander Abores, property address 4250 Galt Ocean Drive, owner Galt Towers Condo Association, Inc., case number BE 21070036. Fine suspended as noted. They're requesting an extension.
Alexander Abores, building inspector for the city, updating you on case and address as read. The property was cited for violation of section 9-280B, building parts not maintained. There's deterioration to the pool walls, especially to the northeast corner of the pool structure. The respondent is here today along with the structural engineer, and he would like to provide an update.
All right, on behalf of the owner.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm Todd DiMartino. I'm the property manager of Galt
Okay, if
Towers.
you get a little closer to the microphone.
I'm the property manager of Galt Towers, Todd DiMartino.
All right, and this is your request for an extension of how long?
35 days, Your Honor.
All right.
We are in the middle of a 33.
Tell me what you're doing to get this taken care of. Papers in your hand.
Yes, we chose a contractor to perform the work. Right now, we have a 33-page contract that is being negotiated between our association attorney and their attorney. We expect to have it finalized within the next 2 to 3 weeks, and then it will be ready for permitting.
All right, okay, good enough. Okay, let's do I'm going to grant a 35-day extension. 35, I guess no fines have been imposed, so a 35-day extension is granted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 3. Inspector Leonardo Martinez, case number BE 200-50147, property address 3010 Northeast 56th Court. Owner Mark Agulin and Jethlin Toyanwinich. Sorry. Notice posted at the property on 10/30/21. Posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Inspector Martinez representing the city, case and address as read. I visited this property and met with the owner, Toyawanich, and I explained her that there was some AC installed on her property without permits prior she bought the property. The property was cited for work without permit under FPC 2020, Section 105.1. This case was opened on May 11 of 2021. Inspection report was mailed to the property owner on August 5th of 2021. The final notice was mailed out to the property owner on September 13, and the notice of hearing was posted at the property on October 30 of 2021. Permits application for 5 AC change outs were submitted to the city in November 4th of 2021. The permit is in progress. We're asking your owner to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 63 days to come into compliance or fines of $50 per violation per day thereafter.
Okay. All right, ma'am, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Jutawan Toyawanet, property owner.
All right. Anything you'd like to add to what this gentleman said?
Nope, I appreciate all your time. Inspector Martinez's guidance and recommendation. I'll ensure that we're in compliance well within those time frame.
Good, okay. I find the violation does exist, 63 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 33. Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 502 Southwest 4th Ave, case number BE 21040079. Owner Jonathan Goodhart, Tali Rombro. This case was first heard on 8/19/21 to comply by 10/21/21. One section complied at $50. City is requesting to reduce fines to $320.
Excuse me, Tasha, is it 502?
Yes.
All right.
Southwest 4th.
Inspector Martinez representing the city. Case and address as read. This case, they were missing the AC permit and the case just came into compliance. And yes, the city is agreed that to reduce the fines to administration cost of $350.
Looks looks like 320. 320 or 350?
That's 320.
Okay, 320 is fine.
Just saved you $30.
Thank you.
State your name for the record, please.
Good morning, I'm Danny Sanchez.
Okay. Hey, you can add whatever you want. I'm inclined to.
No, that's fine, we accept that.
Administrative cost, $320.
Okay, thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 36.
38.
36, Inspector Leonardo Martinez. Property address 3904 Southwest 13th Court, 1-7. Owner Flamingo 1777 LLC. Case number CE 200-81048. Excuse me. Gosh. This case was first heard on 6/17/21 to comply by 8/19/21. Fine suspended as noted in the agenda. One section complied at $50. Total fines $2,300. City is requesting to reduce fines to $1,150.
Inspector Martinez representing the city. Case and others as read. The case came into compliance, and the city is requesting administration cost of $1,150.
Ma'am, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name.
Karen Francis, representative of member manager Eli Alush.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add?
Thank you, Your Honor, and thank you, Inspector, for agreeing to reduce the fines to administrative
Very
costs.
good.
You're welcome.
I'm going to waive the fine and impose administrative costs, $1,150.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Happy Thanksgiving.
Our next case is on page 35. Inspector Leonardo Martinez. Property address 1801 Northeast 62nd Street, 222. Case number BE 2105-0003. Owner Peter D'Alesso. This case was first heard on 8/19/21 to comply by 10/21/21. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $1,350, which continues to accrue.
Inspector Martinez representing the city. Case and others as read. There was an initial permit applied, and no documentation was submitted with the permit. The permit was canceled. Now there is another application that was submitted on November 2nd of 2021. It seems like they have correction pending. I'm gonna let the defendant to speak.
Hello, my name is Nikita Shannon. I'm the general contractor here on behalf of Mr. D'Alesso.
All right.
Unfortunately, the initial process number that the building department issued me, they said it was inappropriate for the scope of work, so they voided that and reissued me a new process number, and we had to resubmit everything under that new process number. However, I've been tracking it on a daily basis. It's going through the review. I also submitted a early start request, so I think usually those requests are granted in like 24, 48 hours. So I anticipate some type of written authorization that we could at least start while the permit is issued.
Okay, so you've complied for the permits. Yes. Applied. Okay. Let's grant a 28-day extension.
With no fees applied as of yet, please.
And stay the fines as of this date.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I just would like to add, city won't oppose the 28-day extension, but I just would like to add for the next, taking count that this case is running since May 4th of 2021. That's the only thing that I want to say.
Okay, you want it heard at the next agenda?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's do a mandatory reappearance December 16th, 2021.
Okay, and then I'll provide you with status by then.
No. The next agenda is to impose the fines.
Oh, okay.
He's waiving the imposition of fine today, giving you 28-day extension, but this is a massive case. When you come to this case, it's because the city is requesting the fines to be imposed.
Okay, however, if I'm issued the building permit prior to the 16th, I contact you immediately,
Yes.
and then you and I will discuss if I'm required to come on December 16th?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank
you, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 26. Inspector Alejandro Abores. Property address 1012. I'm sorry, we already heard that case, right? 1012 Southwest 5th Place? Oh. Is there a respondent in here for that? No, but someone signed in here. Okay. Moving on to page 6. Property address 1535 Perimeter Road. Owner Shelter Air. Inspector Alejandro Abores. Case number BE 21070051. Notice posted at the property 10/20/21. Posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Inspector Alvarez, on behalf of Chief Oliva, case number and address is read. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
All right, who's going to speak on behalf of the owner? Okay, ma'am, step up to the microphone. You can adjust it and speak right into it.
Johanna Carter, property manager for Shelter.
All right, what would you like to add?
We would like to add that we are currently working on our 40-year inspection, and we will comply with the 42 days.
All right, very good.
Thank you.
Violation does exist. 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 20. Chief George Oliva, property address 1881 Southeast 17th Street. Case number BE 21070076. Owner BSREP 3 Fort Lauderdale LLC in care of Brookfield Property Group. Personal service, notice delivered by personal service, Larry Mears, 10/21/21. Posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
George Oliva, on behalf of the city, case and address as read. The 40-year report was submitted to the city, but was not complete, so it won't qualify for another extension 180 days, I mean. So at this moment, the city will request 42 days for the property owner to resubmit the full report or $100 per day thereafter.
Sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone
Yes.
and state your name, please.
Lloyd Comer from Brookfield Properties, the owner. I got the report that we got a new electrical engineer in there. I have it, I'm bringing it over. It'll be done today. I'm heading over to Victoria Mac's office from
I
here.
found the violation does exist. 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 13. Chief George Oliva, property address 490 Southwest 27th Terrace, 1-8. Owner Mac Services and Enterprises, Inc. Case number BE 21070254. Notice posted at the property on 10/29/21. Posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
George Oliva, on behalf of the city, case and address as read. This is a 40-year case, and the report has not been submitted to the city. At this moment, the city is going to request 42 days for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report or $100 per day thereafter.
All right, sir, if you'll state your name for the record, please.
Abilio Rodriguez.
All right, anything you'd like to add?
No, I apologize because I didn't comply, because I didn't receive any correspondence, but I thank you for this extra time, this extension.
All right, for the record, I found the violation does exist. 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is at the top of page 7. Inspector Alejandro Abores, Property address 2314 East Sunrise Boulevard. Case number BE 21070067. Owner Keystone, Florida Property Hold, care of Burdine's Tax Department. Notice posted at the property 10/19/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Inspector Abores, on behalf of Chief Oliva, case number and address as read. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
I'm sorry, 42 days.
42 days, yes, Your Honor.
All right, sir, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
Raymond Vega, Facilities Manager on behalf of Burdine's Macy's.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add?
We submitted the report on Friday and believe it was reviewed on Monday, but we accept the 42-day extension.
Okay, for the record, I find the violation does exist. 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 31. Inspector Jorge Martinez. Property address 943 Northwest 14th Street. Case number CE 201-20615. Owner Causley M. Cotain. This case was first heard on 5/20/21 to comply by 7/22/21. Fine suspended as noted. One section complied at $50. City is requested to impose the full amount of $2,750.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, case number and address as read. Case is in compliance. City is requesting for fines to be reduced to $125.
125?
Yes.
All right. Okay, sir, if you'll state your name for the record, speak right to the microphone.
I'm Cosgrove, live at 943 Northwest 14th Street.
All right, okay. You accumulated some fines, but the city is requesting an administrative cost of $125. So,
Yeah, see, I'm not really working now, so I don't know how I'm able to pay that,
okay. I'm going to impose an administrative cost of $125. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir.
Our next case is on page 20, Chief George Liba. Property address 1429 Southwest 9th Street. Owner Riverside Breezes Condo Association, Inc. Case number BE 21070212. Notice posted at the property 10/29/21. Posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Give me a second. Give me a second.
George Oliva, on behalf of the city, case and address as read. This is a 40-year case that needs to be in compliance, and the report must be submitted to the city. At this moment, we don't have a report submitted, so I'm going to request 42-day extension for the report to be submitted by the city and $100 per day thereafter.
Ma'am, if you'll speak right into the microphone and state your name, please.
My name is Betsy Morales. I'm the property manager.
Okay, anything else you would like to ask?
Nope, we're in agreement. We already did the inspection. We're waiting for the report, so we are okay with the 42-day extension.
All right, very good. For the record, I found the violation does exist. 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 29, Inspector Jose Saragusti. Property address 1001 Arizona Avenue. Owner Rosalind Y. Jackson. Case number BE 200-50224. This case was first heard on 7/15/21 to comply by 8/26/21. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $4,150, which continues to accrue.
Jose Saragusti, building inspector for the city, presented case number as read. The permit were left to expire as stated in today's agenda. I am going to let the respondent to speak.
Okay, ma'am, if you'll speak right in the microphone and state your name, please.
Yes, good morning, Judge. My name is Rosalind Jackson. I am the property owner. I purchased the property in 2006. This permit was something that happened before I purchased the property.
All right.
The city is,
Well,
the system,
okay, have you been to the earlier hearings?
No, sir. I didn't receive any information.
Mess on your hands, okay.
the city is asking to stop the fines and requesting the owner to come in compliance within the next 28 days, or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
You don't want the fines imposed, you want to request an extension?
Yes,
Right.
because it's the first time that I have in contact with a lady.
All right, I'm sorry. The fines have already been, okay, all right, okay, ma'am. Get this cleared up, okay?
Yes, sir.
And I'm gonna grant a 28-day extension,
Okay.
and you need to get this cleared up within that time.
Okay,
I'm
so,
gonna stay the fines as of this date, but you got $4,150 in fines that we can address once you come into compliance.
okay, once I come into compliance.
So
So I
the
still
key
have to
thing-
get a permit even though it wasn't on me?
That or cancel it out, withdraw it,
Okay, so he'll tell me what to do, I guess.
whatever they call it there.
Okay, thank you so much, Judge.
Our next case is on page 32. Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 2054 Southwest 30th Terrace. Owner Tamir Vardy, case number BE 21020008. This case was first heard on 6/17/21 to comply by 9/16/21. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $3,100, which continues to accrue.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, case number and address as read.
I'm sorry, Jose, can you take thank you.
The city is requesting for the fines to be stopped in a 63-day extension.
Okay, all right, sir, if you'll state your name for the record, please.
Sure, Tamir Vardy,
All right, you agree with what he said?
100%.
Okay, let's get this cleared up. I'm gonna grant a 63-day extension and stay the fines as of this date.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, this concludes all of our respondents. We can.
Let's take a brief recess.
Brief recess? Okay. Thank you. Jerry? Our next case is on page 1. Inspector Hector Suarez. Property address 2624 Grace Drive. Case number BE 2106-0165. Owner Cheryl A. Rawson, James T. Rawson. Notice posted at the property on 10/7/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Suarez presenting case as read. Property was inspected on July 1st, 2020, and the following violation was observed as depicted on the photos. 91D. Any violation of the Florida Building Code shall be a violation of the section and punishable as provided for in this section. There's construction work at this property that was started or completed without obtaining the required permits consistent of but not limited to replacement of driveway including swale area without permit. Inspection report was mailed to owner listed on BCPA on July 6, 2021. Final notice sent on August 5th, 2021. As of the pre-hearing inspection date of November 16, 2021, there has been a permit applied for but not issued. Violation remains. The city is requesting 42 days or $50 per day thereafter.
Find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
At the bottom of page 1, inspectors, can we please lower our sidebar conversations because it's picking up on the recordings? Thank you. At the bottom of page 1, Inspector Jorge Martinez, property address 1536 Northwest 6th Street, owner 1551 Sis Trunk LLC, case number BE 2105-0036, notice posted at the property 10/8/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Inspector Martinez, on behalf of the city, presenting case as read. This building has been illegally altered and construction work illegally performed without obtaining the required permits in the following manner, but not limited to windows and door windows and doors installed without permits. I reviewed the case on 11/15/2021, at which time I verified the violation remains. The city will request 35 days to comply or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
Okay, I find the violation does exist, 35 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Page 2, property address 2889 Northeast 25th Street, case number BE 2106-0043, owner Jafast Real Estate LLC, Bo Shagan. Notice posted at the property on 10/8/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Inspector Martinez for the city, presenting case as read. This property is in disrepair and in its present condition is considered to be unhabitable, public nuisance, and a hazard to the health and well-being of the community. The owner appeared to be unwilling or unable to maintain the property to minimum standards for human occupancy and minimum maintenance standards of the FBC as adopted by the city ordinance. Due to the owner being unwilling or unable to maintain this property according to the minimum standard established on the city ordinance, the city is requesting the following: that in the next 60 days, the owner applies for the required permits to bring the property into compliance with signed and sealed submittal documents from a licensed design professional, including an accurate itemized cost to restore the structure to meet standards for human occupancy and to meet minimum housing standards, or apply for a demolition permit to demolish the unsafe, unhabitable structure, including all accessory structures on the parcel. In the event the owner does not apply for the permits and move forward with the rehabilitation or demolition of the property, the city will move forward with the demolition, including all accessory structures on the parcel, at owner's expense, and may lien the property to recover the demolition cost.
All right, I find the violation does exist and the relief requested by the city is granted.
Inspector Leonardo Martinez, property address 520 Southeast 5th Ave, owner Las Olas by the River Condo Association, Inc., case number BE 2107-0378, notice posted at the property 10/26/21.
We heard that case, I thought.
Oh, I'm sorry?
We heard that case.
We did? Oh, I'm sorry.
0378?
Yeah. We did? Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't scratch it off, sorry. Property address 1121 Southwest 15th Ave. Owner, Marianne and James. Case number BE 2107-0012. Notice posted at the property on 10/29/21. Posted at City Hall 11/4/21. Yes, just bring all your cases.
Inspector Martinez, your honor, representing the city. Case and address as read. I visited this property during hurricane watch and observed new windows and doors, new kitchen, new AC, new fence, new pergola, installing the exterior of the detached structure located on the rear of the property. I posted in the front of the door the hurricane warning and also the stop work order. The property was cited under FBC 2020, Section 105.1 for work without permit. This case was opened on July 2nd of 2021. The final notice was mailed out to the property owner in August 6th of 2021. The notice of hearing was posted at the property on October 29. As today, they apply for a kitchen and bathroom remodel permit, BLD-RALT 21110052. With that permit, they apply also an electrical and a plumbing permit. All these permits were applied on November 15 of 2021. As today also, they are missing the permit for the windows and doors, the new fence, and the new pergola. Those permits they haven't applied yet. We're asking your owner to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 91 days to obtain the required permits to come into compliance, or fines of $50 per violation per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 91 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 3 at the top. Property address 2023 Miami Road 1-6. Owner Ter 2023 Miami Road LLC. Case number BE 2108-0144. Notice posted at the property 10/7/21. Posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Inspector Martinez representing the city. Case and address as read. I visited this property and observed that there was an art painting in the front of the building. No permit was found in the city for this scope of work. Property was cited on the city ordinance 47-22.3.S.3 for supergraphic signs. This case was opened on September 1st of 2021. The notice of hearing was posted at the property on October 7 of 2021. I was contacted by Ms. English, who said that she will be applying for the permit. The permit application for supergraphic mural BLD-SIGN-21110008 was applied to the city on November 11 of 2021. We are asking your owner to find that the violation exists and to grant the property owner 42 days to come into compliance, or fines of $50 per violation per day thereafter.
Find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $50 per day thereafter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 5. Property address 903 East Cypress Creek Road. Owner Pinecrest AP LLC, in care of law offices of Scott A. Frank PA. Case number BE 2107-0056. Notice posted at the property on 10/20/21. Posted at City Hall 11/4/21. Inspector Alejandro Abores.
Inspector Abores, on behalf of Chief Oliva, case number and address is read. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection has not been approved. City is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Property address 1324 Holly Heights Drive, owner 1324 Holly Heights LLC, case number BE 21070185. Notice posted at the property on 10/19/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Inspector Abores, on behalf of Chief Oliva, case number and address is read. The report was submitted but failed. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a new report in the next 180 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Property address 1532 Argyle Drive, 1-4, owner Sailors Landing LLC, case number BE 21070070. Notice posted at the property 10/19/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Inspector Abores, on behalf of Chief Oliva, case number and address is read. The report was submitted but failed. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a new report in the next 180 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
80, 100, okay. Page 6, property address 2210 Northeast 56th Place, owner Imperial Point Gardens Condo, Inc., case number BE 21070083. Notice posted at the property 10/20/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Inspector Abores, on behalf of Chief Oliva, case number and address is read. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection report has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Property address 2300 East Las Olas Boulevard, owner Las Olas Sunset Bay LLC, Joel Lavender and all others, case number BE 21070075. Notice posted at the property on 10/19/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Inspector Abores, on behalf of Chief Oliva, case number and address is read. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 7 at the bottom, property address 2598 East Sunrise Boulevard, owner Keystone Florida Property Hold, case number BE 21070066. Notice posted at the property on 10/19/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Inspector Abores, on behalf of Chief Oliva, this case is now closed.
Page 8, property address 3038 North Federal Highway, owner Gulf South Forest Prod, Inc., case number BE 21070205. Notice posted at the property on 10/20/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Inspector Abores, on behalf of Chief Oliva, case number and address is read. The report was submitted but failed. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a new report in the next 180 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Next case, property address 3051 Northeast 48th Street, owner Ridgeview Towers, Inc., case number BE 21070128. Notice posted at the property on 10/22/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Inspector Abores, on behalf of Chief Oliva, case number and address is read. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 9 at the top, property address 3099 East Commercial Boulevard, case number BE 21070124, owner Rosselli Holdings 5 LLC. Notice posted at the property on 10/22/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Inspector Abores, on behalf of Chief Oliva, case number and address is read. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Property address 3100 Northeast 49th Street, case number BE 21070127, owner Royal Mariner of Fort Lauderdale, Inc. Notice posted at the property 10/22/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Inspector Abores, on behalf of Chief Oliva, case number and address is read. The report was submitted but failed. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a new report in the next 180 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Our next case is at the bottom of page 9, property address 3101 Northeast 47th Court, owner Wilshire East Association, Inc., case number BE 21070126. Notice posted at the property 10/22/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Inspector Abores, on behalf of Chief Oliva, case number and address is read. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 10 at the top, property address 5401 North Federal Highway, owner Auto Cafe, Inc., case number BE 21070139. Notice posted at the property on 10/22/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Inspector Abores, on behalf of Chief Oliva, case number and address is read. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 11 at the top, property address 33 Northeast 2nd Street, case number BE 21070244, owner Astute Group LLC. Notice posted at the property 10/30/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Hi, Inspector Maddock, on behalf of Chief George Oliva, case number and address is read. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or fine of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 12, property address 404 Northwest 1st Ave, owner Flat 404 LLC, case number BE 21070312. Notice posted at the property 10/27/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Inspector Maddock, on behalf of Chief Oliva, case number and address is read. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or fine of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
At the bottom of page 12, property address 417 Northeast 17th Ave, owner Victoria Park Breezes Condo Association, case number BE 21070251. Notice posted at the property 10/30/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Inspector Maddock, on behalf of Chief George Oliva, case number and address as read. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Okay. At the bottom of page 13, property address 501 South Federal Highway, owner Edgewater House Condo Association, Inc., case number BE 21070046. Notice posted at the property on 10/18/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Inspector Maddock, on behalf of George Oliva, case number as address and address as read. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 14 at the top, property address 511 Bayshore Drive, owner Bayshore Towers of Fort Lauderdale, Inc., case number BE 21070020. Notice posted at the property on 10/22/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
This case has been complied and closed.
Okay, thank you. Property address 625 Antioch Ave, owner Harwick House, Inc., case number BE 21070209. Notice posted at the property on 10/27/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Inspector Maddock, on behalf of Chief George Oliva, case number and address as read. The required 40 or 10-year safety inspection has not been approved. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply.
Thank you.
Page 15 at the top, property address 625 Northeast 17th Terrace, owner 1025 Park LLC, case number BE 21070307. Notice posted at the property 10/30/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
This is the real Chief George Oliva. Case and address as as read. This case has not been in compliance and is a 40-year case, and the city is asking for the owner to come in compliance within 42 days by submitting the report or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100.
Page 15 at the bottom, property address 800 Southeast 4th Street, case number BE 21060113, owner Chateau Mar Condo Association, Inc. Notice posted at the property 10/11/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
George Oliva for the city, case and address as read. This is a 40-year case. It's not in compliance. The city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days and $100 per day thereafter.
I find that the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Moving on to page 16, property address 801 Northeast 18th Court, owner Camelot Shores Condo Association, Inc., case number BE 21060170. Notice posted at the property 10/11/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
George Oliva on behalf of the city, case and address as read. The owner did submit the report, but it failed due to corrections required. So the city is gonna ask for 180 days extension for the owner to submit a new report or $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
At the bottom of page 16, property address 810 Northwest 10th Terrace, owner South Mac 1 LLC, case number BE 200500250. Notice posted at the property 10/28/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
George Oliva for the city, case and address as read. This is a 40-year case and is not in compliance, and the city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in 42 days or $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 17, property address 824 Northeast 20th Ave, owner HG Middle River Investments LLC, case number BE 21070301. Notice posted at the property 10/28/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
George Oliva on behalf of the city, case and address as read. This is a 40-year case and it has not been complied by the owner, and the city is asking the owner to come into compliance in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 17 at the bottom, property address 901 East Cypress Creek Road, owner Pinecrest AP LLC, in care of law offices of Scott A. Frank, PA, case number BE 21070057. Notice posted at the property on 10/22/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
George Oliva, on behalf of the city, case and address as read. This is a 40-year case and it's not in compliance. And the city is asking for the owner to come into compliance in the next 42 days by submitting the report of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 18 at the top, property address 921 Southwest 4th Street, 1-7. Owner Jeffrey S. and Patty L. Moose. Case number BE 21070211. Notice posted at the property on 10/29/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
George Oliva for the city. This 40-year case is not in compliance, and the city is asking for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a report in the next 42 days and $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
At the bottom of page 18, property address 936 Northwest 1st Street. Owner J2911 Real Estate LLC, case number BE 21070315. Notice posted at the property 10/28/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
George Oliva for the city, case and address as read. This 40-year case is not in compliance. The city is requesting for the owner to come into compliance in the next 42 days by submitting the report and $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation exists, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Okay, moving on to the top of page 21. Property address 2121 East Commercial Boulevard. Owner Marinson Group, case number BE 21070138. Notice posted at the property on 10/22/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
George Oliva, on behalf of the city, the owner did submit the report to the city, but the report failed due to corrections required. At this moment, the city is going to recommend a 180-day extension for the owner to come into compliance by submitting a new report and $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
At the bottom of page 21, property address 2760 Northwest 63rd Court, case number BE 21060020. Owner Standard Motor Products, Inc. Notice posted at the property 10/11/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
George Oliva for the city. The 40-year case has not been in compliance, and the city is requesting for the owner to come into compliance by submitting the report in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 22 at the top, property address 2881 Northeast 33rd Court. Owner Carlisle Association, Inc. The Carlisle Association, Inc. Property address, case number BE 21070142. Notice posted at the property 10/22/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
George Oliva, on behalf of the city, case and address as read. This is a 40-year case, and the report has not been submitted to the city by the owners, and the city is requesting from the owners to come into compliance in the next 42 days or $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
At the bottom of page 22, property address 4280 Galt Ocean Drive. Owner Plaza South Association, Inc. Case number BE 21070174. Notice delivered via personal service to Anthony Leventhal 10/28/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
George Oliva, on behalf of the city, case and address as read. The 40-year report has not been submitted to the city. The 40-year was submitted to the city, but it fell due to corrections required, and the city is going to recommend the owner to come into compliance on the next 180 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 180 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Page 23, property address 5661 Northeast 18th Ave, owner La Fontana Apartments, Inc., case number BE 2107-0137. Notice posted at the property 10/22/21, posted at City Hall 11/4/21.
Jorge Oliva for the city, case and address as read. This is a 40-year case that has not been complied by the owners, and the city is requesting for the owner to come into compliance in the next 42 days or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
I find the violation does exist, 42 days to comply, $100 per day thereafter.
Moving on to page 26 at the top, property address 33, Inspector Bobby Mazzula, property address 3391 Northwest 63rd Street, case number BE 200-70269. Owner Ludencia Siskai, I think. This case was first heard on 5/20/21 to comply by 7/1/21. One section complied at $50. City is requesting no fines imposed.
Robert Masula, Fort Lauderdale Building Inspector, updating you on case BE 2007-0269, property address 3391 Northwest 63rd Street. Roof permit PM 19020139 was renewed, inspected, passed, and closed. After further review and investigation with Fort Lauderdale PD, it was discovered that the homeowner is a victim and was taken advantage of by an unethical contractor, which led to this hardship. Based on the circumstances and what took place, we would request that any and all fines be abated and wiped out to $0. Thank you.
No fines will be imposed, so ordered.
Thank you, sir. Good day.
Our next case is at the bottom of page 26, Inspector Alexander Abores, property address 2003 Northwest 62nd Street, 100. Owner Capital Cypress LLC, case number BE 210-20042. This case was first heard on 7/15/21 to comply by 9/16/21. One section complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $1,250.
The city's request is granted.
All right, moving on to page 29 at the bottom. Property address 1141 Northeast 17th Ave, case number BE 200-50312. Owner Paulo M. Miranda. This case was first heard on 8/19/21 to comply by 9/30/21. One section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $2,400, which continues to accrue.
City's request is granted.
Page 31 at the top. Property address 626 Northeast 13th Ave. Owner Leonardo Zing. Case number BE 200-50006. This case was first heard 8/19/21 to comply by 9/30/21. One section not comply at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $2,400, which continues to accrue.
The city's request is granted.
Okay. Page 33 at the top. Property address 4 Pelican Drive. Inspector Leonardo Martinez. Case number BE 210-20020. Owner Janice Sindowski. Have interest for, homestead is exempted for Jake Sindowski and Pamela Trustee. This case was first heard on 5/20/21 to comply by 8/19/21. Fine suspended as noted. One section not complied at $50.
Inspector Martinez, Your Honor, on this case, they just need to comply with the CO. The final surveyor was approved, and it's in the process to get expedite. So I will request on this case 28 days extension.
All right, granted, 28 days. And stay the fines.
Okay. At the bottom of page 33, property address 505 Southwest 11th Court. Owner Leonard Morel. Case number BE 201-00028. This case was first heard 4/15/21 to comply by 7/15/21. Fine suspended as noted. One section not complied at $50.
Inspector Martinez, Your Honor, for some reason, I just received a call from this owner this morning, early in the morning. I called him a couple of days ago, trying to obtain information of what's going on because he has 4 permits already applied. For the record, I would like just to give him the benefit of the doubt since he bought the property with violations and he's been trying to get it into compliance. I will request a 28-day extension to come back in 28 days and to hold the fines.
28-day extension is granted with a stay of the fines.
Moving on to page 34 at the bottom. Property address 1534 Southeast 15th Street. Owner EGE Holdings LLC. Case number BE 2107-0099 was first heard on 9/16/21 to comply by 10/14/21. 2 sections complied at $50. City is requesting to reduce fines to $575.
The city's request is granted.
Thank you. Page 35, property address 2041 Southwest 37th Terrace. Case number CE 20110424, owner Amanda L. Rosali. This case was first heard on 4/15/21 to comply by 6/17/21. Fine suspended as noted. 1 section complied at $50. City is requesting to reduce fines to $575.
The city's request is granted.
Property address 2600 Southwest 30th Ave, owner Charles E. Biggie. Case number CE-2001026. Oh, I'm sorry, owner is Charles E. Biggie, 2017 Trust. This case was first heard on 7/15/21 to comply by 9/16/21. 1 section complied at $50. City is requesting to reduce fines to $575.
The city's request is granted.
Property address 2641 Southwest 12th Terrace. Case number CE 200613884, owner Oscar H. Herrera. This case was first heard on 6/17/21 to comply by 8/19/21. Fines were suspended as noted. 1 section not complied at $50. City is requesting to impose the full amount of $2,050, which continues to accrue.
The city's request is granted.
And that's it. We would like to enter all the cases that are listed on page 37 into the record as closed or complied.
All right, granted.
And this concludes our November 18, 2021 Special Magistrate hearing for the Building Division. Thank you.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, Your Honor.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you.